Hello, happy Friday. It's December 7th, 2018. We're winding down the end of the year and getting ready for a new year, heading into maybe the last year before we get to the new decade. So just kind of wanted to review some things. We're going to talk about successful aging means successful investing. And I'm going to cover a couple of those items. So when we think about investing, naturally we just automatically think about money, and whether it's in the bank or investments with stocks and mutual funds and bonds. But in reality, you're going to circle back around and have a bigger context of investing. So first of all, we want to invest in our education. That's something we do at an early age, but sometimes along the path, we kind of forget that education should be a lifelong process. The more you know, the better you're confident in your ability to speak, your ability to talk better at meetings, discussions, interact, share your thoughts. So education, learning words, learning phrases, learning content, not only just here domestically in the U.S., but be a world educator. So we know as we age, we start to see kind of a decrement in that learning, memory, centers of the brain, the hypothalamus, thalamus, that deep section of the brain. And what we know is as we work and learn and stress our minds and our cognition, we tend to maybe keep that a little healthier than if we just slowly have a slight decline. So it's always great to just keep pushing your brain, pushing the challenge, whether it's reading a book or crossword problems or going to the local community college and taking that economics class you always wanted, or by gosh, maybe you always wanted to figure out physics, or how about just throwing down some clay and doing some pottery. Whatever it is, you're engaging the brain. As we know, along with dementia, that is kind of that central area, that central core of the thalamus, pituitary gland is kind of where they believe the starting components of dementia begin. So they start in that area and then they slowly start to go out as it goes to early stage, mild, and then full onset dementia. So that's why I'm a big believer of investing in education, because I think it's going to help you down the road. The next is what I like to call health in general. I'll call it the big four: smoke, sleep, sugar, and sitting. Well, I think we've got that smoking thing taken care of. That's not that much of an issue anymore. But sleep, huge data about sleep and the relevance on glucose regulation, diabetes, and obesity. Make sure you get good sleep. Make sure you have good sleep regimen. It's just critical. And now we're seeing that here again, sleep, dementia, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, that whole central component of our brain seems to be integrated with how we function now and in the future. Sugar, it's a wonderful good thing when it goes across your tongue. Great reward receptors both on your tongue and in the back of your brain, lights up like crazy. That's why it could be kind of addictive behaviors. I know when I was younger, I had a nice addiction for donuts. Took me a while to get that discipline down. But sugar, right, we got to control that. There's some great data now, I think, in the Lancet journal. Kind of gave an idea of really we should be in this 45% of our daily calories coming from carbohydrates, not those finely processed sugars, more of the natural grains, fibers. Sugar, we know, is a signal related to diabetes, obesity, and maybe here again, there's this concept called type 3 diabetes, where I'm a big believer this insulin signaling that might have some relationship with dementia. So, what the heck, it's worth cutting down. I think there's a lot of lifelong health benefits there. Sitting, right? Sitting's the new smoking. That's been around for a year or so. I kind of said that myself. But hey, we got to stop being physically inactive. The other day I was lecturing in class and I kind of talked about my early days of being a muscle physiologist when I was younger in grad school, was trying to figure out, well, if we're going to be plying the stars and seeing the world, what happens when we're in space in zero gravity? And then I made the comment like, well, what do we do on Earth when we're trying to simulate in a lab about space? And I refreshed everyone's memory and my own that it's lying in bed, right? That's how the studies are done. Lying in bed, about a negative tilt so we can get that caudal shift of the fluids. So here we are doing models of getting people to be like in zero gravity, to have muscle atrophy, changes in cardiovascular dynamics. And that's what we're doing when we're sitting on the couch, right? So, hey, we need to get up, we need to move, we need to do something in the yard, upstairs, whatever you're doing, just move it, as they like to say. Community's huge, right? Social engagement. Now, I'm not talking social media engagement. Sure, that has some relevance, but it's that face-to-face social engagement with friends, family, and your community. Make sure you network. This becomes definitely prevalent as we age. We start to narrow the focus of our community. We start to tend to focus on those individuals that we find are going to be very most beneficial to us. So as we age, we need to go in with a good social network. And I'll also throw in on the health side, as we age, we need to go in with a good set of teeth and gums and a good pair of eyes, because those are the two factors as we age can have some pretty dramatic impacts on our life and are great windows of our overall health. So hey, if you haven't had that cleaning or that eye exam, let's get that going first quarter 2019, okay? And lastly, how could I not talk about savings and investments? If we're living longer and we want to live healthier with a better quality of life, that kind of means we're going to do more. We're going to want to be active. We're going to drive. So we got car payments, car insurance. We're going to want to travel. So we got travel cost, airfare, hotels. You know, it costs money. So if you want to have an enjoyable life, well, you need to have savings, investments. We just can't be reliant upon Social Security. Yes, it's about a third of that income in retirement. Sadly, a lot of people, it covers almost 90% of their income. So we need to be mindful. I think don't let this short-term noise of what's going on in the market get to you. Got to think long-term. Buy the cycles, buy the decline. You know, overall, you just got to be steadfast in your belief. You know, get with a financial advisor. It's all about the chemistry. We're here to help you. So this is it for 2018. I just want to give a good shout out to everyone, all my clients and friends. Thank you for a wonderful year. All my new connections here and abroad. And I'm looking forward to a great 2019. So stay tuned and make sure you're all taking care of yourself over the holidays. Drive safe, drink safe, watch what you eat, and make sure you spend time with friends and family. That's it. Hesslink out.